Yes. Back again. You know what it is. Back again. Coffee break with JN. Back again. Yes, yes, y'all. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. What's up, Bill? Good to see you. Coffee break with JN. Guys, parting is such sweet sorrow. You may not have me today, but you may have me tomorrow, guys. Welcome back to Coffee Break with JN. I am your friendly neighborhood Grand Poobah, Jamar Nicholas. I see we have a full house in here. Um, and as you know, as I say on Pencil to Pencil, it's lousy up in here. It's lousy with superstars. It's been a minute. I've been at the boards here. Lousy with superstars. And let's say some hellos. Well, I didn't do my whole not too hard, not too soft thing, but we got stuff to discuss, so we'll get to that. Let me clear some screens here. All right, cool. Get some real estate back. Bill, you see the backdrop. You see what I'm working with. The best part of signing on is coffee with your John. Yo, what up, Michael? It's good to see you. Tio Mike in the house. Uncle Mike in the house. What's up, buddy? All right, I'm all out of order. Let me do some hellos. Yo, I see Mr. Matt Waringo of the mighty Waringo Dynasty. Well, hello. I see my man Bill O'Donnell. What up, Bill? Checking in. Well, hello. Yo, what up, Ronaldo? Ronaldo. Well, hello. I see. I spy with my little eye. No, no, notorious. JRD. What up, JRD? Good to see you, sir. Let's see who else is in here. Yo, I see Suze. What up, Suze? Suze, I'm telling you now, I'm going to ensorcel you with sleight of hand, prestidigitation. You will stay awake tonight because we have work to do. We have a Suze pose to attend, but that comes later. Pause. America, this is you. Tom Zoller. My Scott Pilgrim finger is all jacked up. I cut my finger yesterday, and the band-aid's fraying. Let's see who else is in here. Y'all are in here talking to each other. Yo, I see Roger Ash. Hello, Roger Ash. Good to see you, sir. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. Hello, sir. Yagums, you're a good man, sir. I'm using my art in Franco speak. Oh yeah, man. Oh, we could talk about that. You guys, I'm just gonna leave and the chat can just talk. Yeah. So, yo, bros, what up, bros? Hello. Sip of the see-through cup. Tristan, yeah, there's a lot of. You see the scroll. There's a lot of chat going on. What up, Tristan? Tristan, you've quickly become an MVP of the JNN Jamar Nichols Network. I thank you for your service. Um, Guys, let me know. We haven't knighted anyone lately, so maybe this will be an easy ones and twos. I won't even put the graphic on the screen for this. Oh, maybe I will. Tonight we shall anoint Tristan. we will anoint him in the purifying waters of Lake Minnetonka for your first ones and twos of the night, you guys. Should we knight Tristan tonight and make him an official Avenger? Put a one in the chat. If you're like, nah, he ain't, nah, not yet. Put a two in the chat. Let's, and I want to count those numbers. Yo, another another wave of people came in. Ben Shaw, hello, Ben Shaw. Saw you last night on Pencil to Pencil. Well, hello, Ben Shaw. Tell me what you thought of last night's episode. Ronaldo says, "Are you drinking out of a beaker?" No, this is a. It's kind of like, I went to Philadelphia public school. I don't know nothing, but this is the chemical compound of caffeine. Um, this was a very lovely gift given to me by the PN Dubs, and I'm like, you know, what's old is new again. I'm rotating my stock. I figured I'd put this out, and also so you guys could see exactly how much coffee I'm drinking. And sometimes I think y'all think I don't really have coffee in this cup. Like, come on, bro. Yo, Master Asa Incorporated. Simple. Yo, let's get my first sip of the night to my man Asa. I've been Asa, it's good to see you. It's really hard to see you twice in a row, bro. Really good to see you last night. For Pencil. Good to see you tonight. Man, I am not focusing. Hold on a second. All right, here you go. Guys, raise your beakers to my man Asa Taylor. We go way hey back. Remember like when your parents or like old heads will be at the house like, man, I know Ricky for 45 years. And then they start playing chess and shit like that. Ace and I go back like that. Indie cred for life. Indie cred all stars in the house. Tell him what's up. Asa. Asa knows. Asa, Asa knows where all the bones are buried. Pause. And it's very funny that, at our advanced age, you can easily say, yo, man, I know dude for like, I don't know, what, 20, 30 years? Yeah, man, it's been a minute. Without any type of like hesitation. Yo, thank the P and Dubs for that. Yo, I see a lot of ones. TZ, you were grandfathered in, bro. The only time I have to make someone an Avenger is if they kind of appeared and consecutively have been attending JNN Jamar Nicholas Network programming, and I think Tristan earned that like Snoop on the wire. You earned that bump like a mug. So uh, it's maybe what has been like. Was it 2099 something like that? We known each other for a minute. It's a minute. So I see a lot of ones and no twos. Word to your mother. So all right. So Tristan, I will anoint you pause tonight, but you have to answer the call at the end of the show. And somebody remind me just in case I start falling out the window. Suze just said, and producer Suze says, anyone against Nighty Tristan, keep your mouth shut. That's right, close it. So I asked Ben Shaw, who appeared out of the ether last night on Pencil to Pencil, Ben, what'd you think? And Ben Shaw says, it was my first time. Oh, hold on, I gotta find some sort of sound effect for first timers. It was my first time. Oh, it was my first time. Really enjoyable to watch you guys work and hear the life experience. Well, thank you, kind human. I appreciate that. This is kind of what we do. I don't know how you found the channel, but I'm glad to see you. Yo, what up, Paul Pate? Paul Pate, what up, Paul Pate? Oh, Ben goes back in the day with Stone Cold. Does Is it funny to know that Stone Cold Steve Conley has all these nicknames for me? And guys, kind of like the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, my favorite iteration of the Ninja Turtles. That's real rap. Gotta wave brush my hair. Michelangelo in the series is kind of his side job is to nickname everything, like all the weirdo mutant monsters in this show. Michelangelo just was like, "Your name's Dillweed." I'm like, "All right, that's his name." I have nicknames for almost everybody that comes across my path. Pause. For anybody that's affiliated with the Jamar, going all the way back to 1997, the OG. There's some people have T-shirts. I was making T-shirts before I made comic books. The original Friends of Jamar fan club. That's an actual T-shirt out in the world. Going all the way to the JNN, the OG JNN Jamar Nichols Network, which was a group of message boards on my old website that was free of charge, mind you, uh, occupied by a lot of now superstar comic book artists who we were all kind of starting out together. So anyway, we go back. I'm always like, yo, Stone Cold Steve Conley, that's the man. All right, I'm running my mouth. Let me see what I missed. LOL. Gong. And I don't live in Jenkintown, but it's close. Shout out to Jenkintown, home of Bradley Cooper. Ben says, "Found you from Steve Rude." You know what? That was a really great episode of Pencil to Pencil, and we got a lot of people come in on the slipstream from that Steve Rude episode. People are like, "Yo, what is this?" I'm like, "Fam, we've been doing this for 6 years. 6 years." And also, here's another first for tonight. Some of you, I should be checking the stats. I think there's one person I have put, like in a train track where you go and you pull the lever and the track switches. I have taken off the stream of the Facebook Pencil to Pencil and added the Jamar Nicholas YouTube channel to this stream. So if you're like, yo, where'd this come from? This is moving things around. Asa says, yo, it was great watching you cats work. Thank you. Yeah, that gong got y'all open. Ben says, Steve helped me out with the site for my book. Yo, Steve is A plus. He's peak top tier. Roger Ash wants to be GG the dancing machine. Shout out to the Gong Show. Now we're showing our age, Roger. We're showing our age. Also, Asa jumped over here. So yeah, so I just tried something new. But all the magic happens in the pencil to pencil stream. Oh no, the unknown comic. This is funny because I had a thing tonight. I was going to talk about kind of the era when what's funny. Ronaldo's always kind of like the patient zero for a lot of coffee breaks because do I not bleed? Some of y'all actually interact with me when it's not on a screen. And I was talking to Ronaldo, and I sent him some Facebook short or reel, whatever they call them over there. From hold on, I might have it for you. I'll save it. I'll save it. Yo, Christophe, bonjour, mon ami. How are you? Conley 316 says, I just made you middle age, and that's the bottom line. Because Steve Conley said so. JRD is the keeper of the scrolls. He says, that's right. First coffee break was February 19. Not 19. February 2019. So you are now beginning year 7. Oh my goodness. All right, I gotta find a new sound for that. I can't do the same thing. Oh, how about yeah? Isn't that cool? So I try not to like go nuts on these sounds because it's just like, but some of them are funny, and I don't. And there's not really anything on here. I use someone. It ain't hard to tell. I don't want to spam that. Well, thank you, JRD. That's good to know. Thank you guys. Some of you guys have been here since day one. Christoph says fistic knife gunner and this Detective Boogaloo is when I met you. We're going back in time. Yes, Mr. Paul P. Yes. Yeah, I need to get somebody new to help me out with that. I almost feel like I've been I feel like we innovate here on Coffee Break with JN. I think the addition of Stone Cold Steve Conley, who was always the sixth man or however you call that, from pencil to pencil. Steve, um, uh, after as Mike corrected me, designed or concepted the pencil to pencil like two hands, and then he fed it to Steve Conley, who put that saw on it. He put that sauce on it. And just I even told Steve this, try to give people the flowers, y'all. I was like, Steve, thank you so much for not quitting, and you bring so much to the program. Wouldn't you agree? Um, Ronaldo wants a Detective Boogaloo figure. It's funny. I've been slowly getting back into toys, and some of you guys who've been hanging out with me for a while know that I have, you know, us speaking of graying nerds. There's usually the holy trinity of nerd interests, right? So depending on where you point, it's like comic books, video games, and toys, or it's comic books or movies or toys or cartoons or movies of D&D or you know what I mean? It's kind of like in that spectrum. Christoph was like, "Yeah, toys." Right? People get hot for toys, right? So, um, for the longest time, I had gotten away from toys. I did, as we all do, and we probably should do from time to time. I was starting to really get into toy. I don't want to go back too far, but maybe the original, like, I can't speak for the ladies because that's that wasn't where I came from. When I was a kid, right in that Gen X pocket, Star Wars. My cousins were early GI Joes, like they're like the classic, Afro GI Joes, the Venture Team GI Joes. But those were for my cousins. I never got those. But Star Wars started the engine. Nothing was bigger than Star Wars, right? So, and the Kenner action figures were like, right? And then after that, which started to kind of like cross each other, was GI Joe, and I was like the perfect age for GI Joe. So like the first wave of GI Joe, the toys, I think it was '82. I'm not gonna talk about GI Joe too much. And then I was more into GI Joe because of the comic books and because of the cartoon. And we've talked a lot about that brainwashing Venn diagram of what they were doing to us in the '80s. And there was a animated commercial for the comic book, which made you want to buy the comics, and then the toy commercial, and then the cartoon came on. How can you resist that, right? And then Transformers, and that was the after school 1-2 punch. Like it was 4 to 5. 4 o'clock was GI Joe, and then 4:30 Transformers came on. And like, what else am I going to do with my life, right? Um, so, but other stuff that kind of like circled around that didn't really stick with me as much. Um, and we got to talk about anime, which we didn't call it that back then. We called it Japanimation. Is Obviously like Voltron and all that other kind of stuff. But here's some things I don't have a connection to. He-Man. It was all kind of happening at the same time. We are just kind of getting inundated with cartoons, right? But He-Man and the toy line was heavy. He-Man was big, and everything else. So that was kind of like Transformers toys, which were super expensive. He-Man toys, which were like the next level down, right? Guys, how much were a He-Man figure in the 80s? They were like $5, right? They weren't $3. Because I think the GI Joe 3 3/4 were like 250 or something like that. Cool. Christoph says I think GI Joe was called Action Joe in France. I think it was either Action Joe or Action Force because I know there's some other things. And I met this British cat at this toy convention I went to last Saturday, who, and I swear I may have backed a Kickstarter of his, who was collecting this like very European GI Joe-ish stuff. Um, Yo, Khalid, what's up, brother? When I see my man Khalid in the building, we got a swab, sip water, and build. Khalid says, He-Man the cartoon got suspect. I think all those Filmation cartoons were just kind of funky. But yeah, but it was like I was really in GI Joe was my jam. JRD says, I watched He-Man, but fans don't like it when I talk about the underlying joke about He-Man. It's go see, yeah. Bros, I was at ZoloCon. I wasn't going to talk about it, but maybe I'll talk about it. We're talking about the toy NASDAQ. America's Tom Zoller says, Empire and G.I. Joe were $2 to $3. Yeah, I think He-Man was 5. Transformers range from 5 to 20, plus more for them. Yo, because those OG Transformers toys were like heavy. Like if you hit your cousin upside the head with like Optimus Prime, somebody might have to visit the emergency room. They were not playing around. And what's funny that you're starting to see like this rekindled respect for, well, rekindled mean that there was respect at one point for the GoBots. People are like, yeah, I low key like the GoBots. You just didn't talk about it, right? But anyway, all that stuff was happening, and I got you guys all worked up on toys now. Let me make sure. Eternity Forever, what's up? Let me make sure I don't miss anything. Paul Pate says my sister had a set of Sweat Hog dolls. Yes. Welcome back, Cotter had a line of, it was kind of like the Mego size, right? Everything was like 12-inch paws. And that was just kind of like the 70s and the 80s. All the dolls were that big. And it was hard to call them action figures because they weren't. They were just like dolls, and they put clothes on them and it had snaps in the back for Spider-Man, who had the like his mask was like his head. Anyway, Paul Pate says my sister had a set of Sweat Hog dolls. That's right, Horshack, Epstein, Washington, Barbarito. They were about a foot tall. Yeah, I remember them. And I did have some, and this is also funny talking about kind of just like brainwashing kids. And I saw this at this toy con I went to last weekend. I had the Starsky and Hutch dolls, and it came with a working Gran Torino, their Starsky and Hutch's car. You could put the cherry on top. And I remember something was wrong was wrong with my car. I think it only went left, but I love that. I love that toy. Oh my god, I love Starsky and Hutch. So yeah, it was like there were like Chips dolls, like anything. That's more 80s, late 70s, 80s. Anything that was popular probably had a toy line. Matt says I could not remotely afford Masters of the Universe figs in my allowance. Yeah, see, it kind of went. It went there. Eternity forever. Yeah, man, we're talking about toys. That's not where I thought this was going. Uh, Jared D says, I got a Star Wars a week because the grocery store carried them. Folks were like, you get one Star War. And then you also, I'm sure wherever those things were kept, there was always some that were like busted out because kids stole so much. How much were the Soundwave tapes? Now I don't remember, and you guys, I wasn't that keyed into Transformers then, because this was they were so expensive, and I didn't know anybody that had any Transformers. We would go down to the Avenue, and you would get the kind of like the Chinese knockoffs. And I remember, and I don't think I could afford it. They had the what was it? The camera, like the three twins. What was his name? Snapshot or some shit like that. And I don't think I ever saw like a US version of that, but it was dope. But I got a laser beak, and I don't remember you could buy the tapes. I don't know. Anybody got an answer for that? Yeah, somebody. Right, GoBots are hot. Oh, TZ checks in with superpowers. Yeah, that's where like you squeeze their legs, pause. It like that. A lot of those toys also had like an action thing. I remember and one of my boys was a big Indiana Jones action figure guy. No, didn't like the Indiana Jones figures had some sort of like, I think he had a whip action, like you put the whip in his hand and you squeeze his legs and it went like that. Jared D says, GoBots were fine. I even had the miniseries on Divida. Ronaldo says, yeah, never bought He-Man or the Transformers because they were so expensive. See, like this is like real rap. I could get a bunch of Joes instead and Star Wars figs. That was really it. Like you would go into the John, like we had the Woolworths of the 5 and 10, and there was always like a straight peg rack at Joe's or the rack at Star Wars. And sometimes I look at those old like circular ads from back then, and you're like, wait, that's all. You look at some of the prices of this stuff and say that's all. But back then, it was you ain't getting that. Like especially like in GI Joe toy lore, there was kind of like the figures. Then there was like a small vehicle, and then there was like a medium vehicle, and then there was like big stuff, and then there's the flag, right? We'll talk about the aircraft carrier, but you could maybe finesse one or two toys, like I think it was TZ or somebody said you could get dragged to the store and like finesse your parents into getting like at least a Star War, right? I could get a Joe. And troop building didn't exist then because you would get talked out of getting two stormtroopers. Mom, I want this one. You have that. You have him already. No, but you need like I need like nine of them. I'm gonna start washing. Um, oh, I forgot about Jardy's F1 love. The only Transformers I bought were Mirage because he's an F1. Yeah, Eternity and cosigns on that price. The dead Zoller, Tom Zoller. Yeah, I've seen those, and Gabe Kaplan had a big afro. Oh man, we're showing our age when you said Bionic Man. When you look to the back of his head, catch him, put him in square. Paul Pace says, "Yeah, Starsky and Hutch. I wanted to get them, but I spent all my allowance on electric football." Oh yeah, Khalid. There was a Thundercat. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Thundercats. Thundercats were huge, but they weren't like He-Man. Just kind of like eclipsed everything. He just blotted out the sun. And I knew some. This is weird. I knew some kids like He-Man because that was also like a kind of like an odd boy thing. Like there's somewhere, especially in the '80s, where everybody was kind of like really interested in like not even superheroes, but like super muscle people. like, oh, this dude is brolic. Like He-Man was just like this giant muscle dude, and even the pro wrestling figures were no good back then. They were just like this or like this. You got like a Dusty Rhodes and a Ric Flair, and you just gotta win like that. There's no points of articulation, 0 points of articulation. The Thundercats came up, um, but maybe you know what? Maybe some of that is like revisionist history. There was Thunderhawks, Thundercats, Silverhawks, Visionaries, like Mask. Shout out to Mask. And Mask, I think they were even small. Like if everything was like 3 3/4, the Mask stuff was a little smaller. And that stuff is like dumb expensive now because it was super fragile. And it was really hard for you to like keep that stuff without it snapping in half. Uh, Tio Michael says the Transformers toys were whack because they didn't look like the cartoon. Ooh, that's a really good point. That's a giant point. And that's kind of like leading back to where we are today. I and through my travels, I have had several Optimus Primes just because it's like a big truck and it's dope. But when you transform, he don't look like Optimus. He don't look like the cartoon. And that was always kind of whack to me too. I'm glad you brought that up. But now, where's July? July is like the king of Transformers. Now this stuff looks like G1 accurate. Like, yo, it looked like the cartoon. But I kind of, I never got into collecting Transformers except like the blockies that I've been into, the little blind box things that look like the cartoon. Eternity says we got the bootleg Transformers from Chinatown in New York. Megatron, the camera shot. Let's see. It's like we live the same life. I love it. Matt says, I remember loving the Micronauts comic and going to the store to see what the toys were like and was so disappointed. Oh, yes. Refractor was the camera that was three robots. That's a dope name. Was there ever a US version of that toy back then? And I'm not going to put you out there, Bros. I know we're older than you, but you have institutional knowledge. Yo, what up, Angel? Good to see you. Angel says, "Yo, remember William the Refrigerator Perry had the football on a chain coming through? The fridge is coming through." Um, I think they're. I think they're. I don't. I can't speak on it. The people in the GI Joe classified communities have been talking about if they're going to make a Refrigerator Perry fig, and it sounds like uh, the refrigerators. I guess like licensing is kind of tied up. And if they can't get the family to sign off on it, ain't happening. Yeah, Asa says I had a few Transformers, but that's it. No Joes. Okay, it's crazy. Yo, Roger, shout out to the New Zealand sheep herders. I'm going back and I'm also a big wrestling mark. My Bushwhackers action figures had buttons on the back that make them do things. Bloody feuds of Fantastics versus the sheep herders. Ross says, one year I used my birthday money to buy duplicates of the Star Wars toys I got for Christmas. Yeah, I remember the tank. Yo, E, what up, E? Look at all these superstars up in Coffee Break. Had a couple Adventure Joes and vehicles. Yeah, Adventure Team. I had a bunch of Migos too, but I was all in on Star Wars. Well, it's obvious Star Wars changed everything, but when you got the like, what's the name of the Rescue Rangers mouse with the Monterey Jack eyes? It's like, spent all my allowance money on them until maybe 81. Then I switched to music and books. It was a problem. Tia Michael says, "I was a grown ass man when I found out Sasquatch was Andre the Giant or Bionic Man." Yeah, Starsky and Hutch was that was my jam. And I would set up like trash so they could drive through it like they always drew through trash in the alley. Yo, D Fish, what up, D Fish? D Fish says the Bionic Man doll with the eye you can look through was used for Luke and Obi-Wan in the scale miniature for the land speeder and stuff. See, where do you get this stuff from? It's like we're all like dorks, but like, how do you what? Yeah, he says just a little too old to be interested in He-Man and Small Joes. Yeah, there's just like those age stares happen really fast, especially with toys. Um, so like, yeah, even with yeah, they're tiny, right? So like even with all this stuff, like you could be into something, but then your big brother had something before you, and it's like there's no interest. So now you kind of collect all of this pop culture now, and maybe a really great way to look at it is, I'm all the way in. D's going in on this eye thing. Um, yeah, I love the blockies, man. We could talk about that. Is now that we're all kind of old and they're selling our childhood back to us, and I'll gladly pay for it. Is the I think our frame of reference is different because we're even though now we're all old, we're still not all the same age, right? So like I've been talking to people and I've been like, hanging out on toy tube channels and I got to meet a couple of really cool cats that I follow on YouTube in real life, adapt them up at ZoloCon. And it's funny, so I'll talk about Joe, GI Joe, because it's probably easiest for me. So I was a like a OG, right? And the OG GI Joe people will talk about the OG 13, and the OG 13 of the first kind of like wave and a half of the toys. All the guys are wearing like green, and they got the little helmet, and all of them do a different thing, And there's the girl. And that's just how that's set up. And sidebar, I hate the fact that any toy that is not a white male always winds up in peg warming, right? And it's kind of like you don't want to think about like I don't know, like toy racism or something like that, but it's real. I was just complaining to one of my boys, who like, how come every time I go to Target, it's just all Sergeant Stalker? There ain't nobody else laying around on the racks. How come it's just Lando I see in the thing anyway? So don't get me started. So you had like one guy's the bazooka guy, one guy's the laser rifle guy, one guy's got the mortar. Then there's the girl with the crossbow, and then there's Snake Eyes. Shout out to Snake Eyes. That's like the beginning of it all, right? And you're keyed in with the comic books. The comic book had a whole other lore going on, and the cartoon kind of watered that down. And then Joe's, I think, went on from 82 to like 90 something, like 93 or something like that. Joe's 90s, maybe 93. Joe's went on for a long time. And now that we're all on the other end of this, and I'm looking back like, when did they make that? But I left, right? I cashed out. So now in this new classified line where they're making everything in their like 112 size, one of the big things that just came out was Ninja Force Zartan, and he's got like a pink mohawk, and he's got a bow and arrow, and I'm like, and other people are like, yo, man, I'm geeked. Ninja Force Zartan, that's my guy. I'm like, what? But you see it all connects, right? Wherever you kind of like landed in the life of this toy line is what you connect to. Jamal! Shout out to Jim Luhan. What up, Jim Luhan? Ronaldo has refrigerator and Sergeant Slaughter. Now, the Ninja Turtles is a whole other issue. The Ninja Turtles is a religion. And like I said at the beginning of the program, the 2012 um, Ninja Turtles, after Peter Laird sold them to Viacom, that's my favorite iteration of the Ninja Turtles. Oh, yeah, that's a whole other thing. Still, D still got too many Transformers. All right, hold on. Ronaldo says you had to send away for them with UPCs and wait for the amount of time you forgot you sent away. Then it would show. That was refrigerator was a mail away, right? Also, Sergeant Stalker with the what was the John the what do you call those things? The windsurf thing, and also Hooded Cobra Commander was a mail away. The Turntine says this year at New York Comic Con, the fans were pushing fridge merchandise hard to convey the Hasbro Tina. See, people want the fridge. I love it. Oh, let's talk about the guy. I didn't know we were going to talk about toys, you guys. Tio Michael says army building was when you got duplicates. If you dared say, "Oh, I have that one," it was a slap in the back of the head. Yo, open neck, no respect. Don't ever turn down a toy. What are you talking about? Oh, D, shout out to Fisher Price Adventure people. Somebody just showed the Fisher Price barn. Was like, oh my god, I love the Fisher Price garage where you put the car down the joint. And then you go to these toy shows and it's all there. Like it's kind of like I called it the nerd flea market. There's just like all this stuff is there, and you kind of like, if you're not careful, you fall into the rabbit hole. Like, oh, I had that. Oh, I remember that. Oh, I had that. But guess what, y'all? Ain't none of it cheap. None of it's cheap. And I started kind of like in prep for this Toy Con I went to, and I was like, you know what, this thing's in my backyard. I'm just gonna go. I didn't have an agenda. I thought maybe I'd get some Joes, but this show wasn't a Joe show, so it was hard to find Joes. But there were some. This is interesting. There were some the comic book people there, which I thought was a cool swerve to do, right? Um, and a lot of like up and coming toy brands. Uh, I met Bobby Valla from Valaverse, and this is I love this story. So, and I'll get it wrong. Some of you guys will probably correct me. So, this one guy was one of the toy designers for the GI Joe line. I don't know if he designed other stuff at Hasbro. They fired him. Then he went and started his own company, making military action figures the same scale as the GI Joe stuff. If everybody's like, yo, I'm gonna collect Valaverse, and his weapons are better than the gummy weapons or the Joes. I'm gonna buy his kit and put it on this stuff. It's brilliant. How petty is that, and how brilliant is that at the same time? So he was there, posted up. I came through. I was like, "Yo, Bobby, I love what you're doing." It's like, "Hey, thanks, bro." I bought something from him. He signed it. We took a flick. I was like, "Yo, this feels good." I like the toy community, and it's so. One of the things I'll say about this before I run out of time is what I'm loving about this like grown up toy stuff. One, first, everything's super expensive and it's ridiculous, but you also know, like especially with some of these newer companies, you got this stuff costs money. Molding costs money. Tooling costs money. These figures are like $30, $40. I can't do it like that, but I respect it. And it kind of reminds me of the comic book game. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, I got to do this stuff right for you to want it. You make these toys, and then people go back immediately on ToyTube, are reviewing the figure. This is so funny if any of you guys are into this stuff. You watch people do toy reviews, and they're super serious. Hey, here I am, so and so, with the new GI Joe Shockwave. We're going to check the points of articulation. It's got a good T. Arms extend well. Pin joints, 12 points of articulation. Oh, got a good ankle roll. Ab crunch. So got some neck. The neck's kind of limited. Oh, these legs are wobbly. It's not good. They go in on these action figures. All right, I gotta read the I gotta read the chat. Hey Joseph, good to see you. Those were the days you should have been on the $6 million man. I gotta blaze through some of these. Oh yeah, Snake Eyes was a good repaint hack. Snake Eyes was a budget figure molded in one color with no paint and only the head being a unique mold. All the other parts came from the other figures like Grunt and Short Fuse. Yeah, but he's still the coolest. Yes, original Zartan is only Zartan. Jeff, what up, Jeff? Good to see you. Please, okay, we got to rewind. Let's run it back. Thank you, D Fish. The 2012 Turtles was the perfect blend of all the best aspects of all the prior Turtles. It is a love letter to the entire organism that is the Ninja Turtles. If you're like, yeah, whatever, it's CG. When you go, they have the whole DVD thing on Amazon on Bezos for $20. Go cop that. I'm the administrator of this facility. Wow, Dino Riders, you guys are going in. I worked for Eternity says I worked for Toys R Us for a while, and one thing I learned is that black toys, all black toys would eventually go to clearance. Are you hearing this? White kids didn't buy enough, and neither did we. But be it a baby doll or action figure, it's like toy economics. It's crazy. Yeah, we got to go in on these Joes. Angel says, I made my grandma wait in line for the fridge when he came out. Yo, love G.I. Joe. Oh, you know what? If you're ready to get back into G.I. Joe, let me know. I'm your hookup. All right, guys, I got to kind of blow through these. Petty Officer First Class. Wait a minute. That's, wait a minute. Is that Shipwreck? Or is, I think, wait a minute. I think it's him, or I know Flint's a warrant officer. That's also the file cards on the back of the GI Joes. You studied that stuff. Oh, Eternity says Bobby Vala also did Marvel Legends Iceman fig face. Is it? Yo, that Iceman Marvel Legends fig is hot. See what I did there? Yo, shout out to Bobby Vala. He just started this new line called The Black. They're like modern pirates. I copped the first joint. Gummy weapons. They don't understand. They are made for kids to play with. The super expensive NECA figs are not for kids, they're for adults. Well, I don't know. Those classifieds ain't for kids, bro. It's crazy. We should just have a whole toy chat. All right, I think I got to the bottom of this. All right, guys, we just like blew through this. We're talking about toys the whole time. Is Tristan still here? I got work to do. Tristan, are you here? If Tristan's here, please report to the dance floor. And then Sue's here? I need some reports. Sue's check in. Well, I'm waiting for them to respond. Jeff says, Gads, I remember seeing one of the turtle dudes at the Chicago Con, and this was early in the Turtles where the toys in the show, oh, like the original Playmates. Yeah, so good. All right, well, I'll wait for Tristan. We'll do you first. Pause. Guys, it's been too long. It really has been. I don't know where the time is going. But because the producer is here, my boo boo Suze is here. You know what we have to do. We have to honor her. We have to we have to drop the knee to Suze. You ready? Let's do it. I put my hand upon your hip, then I dip, you dip, we dip. Almost died. Pose so cold it froze. I guess my aquarium in the background messed that up, but that was good. Good job. Good job, you guys. Good job. Good job. What you dip, we dip, we dip. That's right. It ain't coffee break without Sue's pose. We'll do you first, Sue's pause. Yeah, where'd Tristan go? Yo, did Tristan didn't answer the bell. Oh well. So close. Um, but yeah, guys, that was fun. I had this whole thing, and I told Ronaldo like, "Yo, I got it all queued up." Oh, here you go. All right, I forgot how to do this, you guys. Oh, what of Brad Tree and the Waringos? Yeah, that's a great picture. Tristan, for your dedication to the JNN Jamar Nicholas Network, for appearing on several in a row uh, chat rooms for this programming. Pencil to pencil, yes. Coffee break with JN, yes. We got to get you on the Patreon, buddy. Hey, that's racist. We got to get you on the Patreon. Now you have earned your JNN Jamar Nicholas Network button. Go forth and be fruitful. You're an Avenger now, kid. Welcome. Welcome to the file rank and file of the caffeines. Guys, give them some love. Caffeines, you know who you are, caffeines. Friends of regulars, not decaf, of Coffee Break with JN. All are welcome. Thank you so much. I'm so glad, Tristan. Huzzah! I gotta finish this coffee. Yeah, that was fun. Hold on. I want to try to show you at least one of the things I was doing. And we're gonna go soon. I'm not gonna like do too much overtime. See if I can find it. Hold on, you guys. I have way too much stuff going on. Is this it? Wait, is this it? What's it? Okay, this is it. This is like super small too, so hold on a second. All right.
Next Sunday, Gary Coleman, as you've never seen him before. He's cheered your hearts. Now he's going to touch your hearts in a shocking NBC World movie premiere about a young boy's desperate plea for love and understanding.
I wish to stay out of trouble once and for all. Everything's my fault.
Gary Coleman and Playing with Fire next Sunday.
Everything's my fault. You did. Your heart grew 3 sizes tonight. I love it. So yeah, I had this whole thing. I was going to talk about after school specials. I was going to talk about the rise and fall of Gary Coleman. How there's nothing bigger. See what I did there? Than Gary Coleman in the late 70s, early 80s. And then there was kind of like, I don't know, there was something about pocket-sized black kids. Like Webster kind of took over for Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman, as you've never seen him before. Poor Gary. And this is kind of like the first time I really recall feeling like, yo, you know what? Maybe these kid actors don't have it so good because he just looked miserable. Like he just looked miserable. And then as you see Gary Coleman like live out the rest of his life, and he just seemed like, bro, y'all don't even know the half. But maybe I'll end with this. One of my favorite things from The Simpsons, where Gary Coleman is eating with the Simpsons. I think it was a Christmas special, and they're all laughing at the end of the show at the dining room table. And Gary Coleman turns to the camera and goes, "And what you talk about, everyone." Uh, yeah, man, that's a giant dark cloud, man. Turntine says, "That's incredible." I remember that show too. Shout out to Byron Allen. Gary was everywhere back then, even on Saturday. Yo, the Gary Coleman show where he was an angel and he was fighting Hornswoggle the devil, not Hornswoggle the WWE wrestler. I don't know what he was talking about. Yeah, hard to believe that young black kids with growth issues adopted by white folks was a genre. Yeah, yeah, that's the same thing happened to Webster, right? The shout out to the Papadopouloses. In a role you've never seen before. um, yo, I'm dying in a wool, man. I can never front. I don't know if you guys got one more second. I was going to show you one more thing, um, and then we'll get out of here. I'm just having a lot of fun, ma'am. Ma'am and George, yeah. Shout out to the Papadopouloses. Was that Dick Bupkis? That was the other guy, right? I forget his name. All right. So anyway, I was going to go down this rabbit hole of after school specials, and I found this little clip of somebody did a compilation of the top 9 whatever after school specials. And Alex Karras, thank you. And I was just going to show some. Yeah, okay, thank you. The fact checkers in the building. I was going to show some of this. I kind of skipped ahead because some of it's kind of like a little cringy, and I'm not trying to trigger anybody. So, all right, I'm gonna share this real quick. It's gonna go fast. So these are after school specials.
Want to go home?
I think we should strike out on our own.
A mother kidnaps her own children.
Tricked us. I had to. I want to go home.
Uh-oh, this looks dangerous. Will they see that car? Think I better have a word with those two. That wasn't very clever, was it?
Cocaine.
You 4 have been friends forever.
It can kill a friendship.
You think we should say something to Coach about it? I'm watching you come apart. It's like you're a different person.
This branch is weak, rotten. It'll never take his way. Only a fool would ignore this.
Why don't you get out? There's the door. Why did he come here anyway? Me?
Jack, get off of my back!
So I found some new friends. Now things are great. Almost.
I don't even know who you are. Superstone Jack. So tell me something. Who's the real Jack? Jack.
Scott Biles stars in Stone.
Hey, Joy. What's the matter, man? My parents are getting a divorce. It's tough.
It is tough. Watch My Dad Lives in a Downtown Hotel.
You'll think that you've been shot. Oh no, oh no, oh no, no, no. Blue blood on Falcon Ground. You're gonna look like cooked spaghetti.
Well, Oh, hold on, I can't turn this off. I can't turn this off. I can't quit you, TV. Did I get it? All right, get that out of here. I like that they called him Scott Bio or whatever. They didn't get his name right. Yo, you saw that today, Asa? That's fantastic. Yo, that's how we grew up. That's so funny. Scott Bio. My dad lives in a downtown hotel. And then people wonder why Gen X we're so fried, y'all. This is how we grew up. Everything was just unhinged. All right, guys. Guys, I had a lot of fun tonight. I do a lot of other stuff here, but I feel like goes a strong hour. I start a little late. We end like at the hour point. Um, I can't do this without you, and we're off a cycle because I wasn't available last week. I had to go bowling with my chapter, and it was a lot of fun. But I miss y'all. So I'm glad we're able to do this. You know what's going to happen next. I got a new book coming out, Leon and the Big, Big Problem, which is dropping November 3rd at the end of this year. If we make it that far, please go cop it. I need your support as much as you can give it. Who's the real Jack? Jack. Thank you, JRD. Tristan says, thank you for the inclusion. Yeah, you're part of group now, buddy. Even Scott Bow is interested in this book. Oh, wait a minute. This Scott Bio, he got canceled, right? I can't remember what happened. There's more to come. Pause. I'm going to be talking about this as we go ahead. As you know, pre-orders are really important. If you haven't pre-ordered this yet, you can go to wherever you usually go. I'd love if you went to your local bookstore and pre-ordered it. It helps their business. Bookshop.org is another really great place you can go to support independent bookstores. Bezos, if you must. Target, if you want to. Whatever. You can get there by sailboat, whatever. Just cop it. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yes. 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 Cop it. Thank you, Eternity. Yeah, I dropped this a couple of weeks ago, and I just been kind of keeping it on the low because I have such a long road to promote this, and I don't want to burn y'all out. So I'm trying to do it gingerly. Thank you, guys. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, Scott Wow. But yeah, guys, thanks so much. I'm going to take this off the screen. I had a lot of fun tonight. I can't do this without you. I can't do this without you. And look, every time you guys buy a Leon book, I make the Scholastic folks happy. Shout out to Rita and Jeff Smith and Scott McCloud and all them. I travel in amazing circles. I stand on the shoulders of giants. I feel like I can't do this without the support of you guys. One thing that was always very helpful, and my man Brad Geiger just said something really interesting on his webcomics network. He said, "You know what? Stop begging." He didn't say it to me, but he's just like in general. Stop asking people to join your stuff. Stop asking people to give you money to be on your Patreon. It's all about community. And if you guys know, community is my middle name. Well, it's not my middle name, but I practice that, right? So, but if you want to see more of this Lantern Jaw, check out the Patreon. Why don't you? All your favorite people are there, and I'll be there too. So going on over there, there's a free thing. You can just sign up, add to the numbers, get on the group chat. It'll be fun. Thank you, guys. All right, guys, it's time to do the thing. Yeah, Ronaldo, I'll sign your books. That's right. Order that. Cop it. All right, guys, you know what to do. It's time to say goodnight, John Boy. I'm going to do my ID and we're going to get out of here. And you legit watch me drink this. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for sticking it out with me. Thanks for the numbers tonight, guys. I appreciate it. If this is your first time watching Coffee Break with JN, I've been doing this for what, 7 years, JRD? There's a lot to catch up on. It's better if you see it live, but I don't disintegrate. You can always go back and watch this. Yes. Yeah, Jeff, DM me. We'll figure it out. All right, guys, you know what to do. So good night, John boy. All right, let's go. Let me get my banners up. You've been watching Coffee Break with JN with your boy JN. Guys, I go by many names. Some of our favorites are the administrator of this facility. That was a nice call, Eric. He said that earlier. The administrator of this facility. Also, John Cena. Philly Seymour Hoffman is also a good one. Ronaldo beat me to it. Philly Seymour Hoffman. Johnny Five. Johnny Five, how do you feel? I feel alive. And Captain Scholastic. I don't know. I feel like I gotta really land a plane with this book. Then I'll call myself that. I feel weird calling myself that. Don't feel like a captain. But I am the captain of this ship. The UNC Coffee Break. Ooh, that's a good one. John. Yeah, I guess I'm back. Jean-Luc Picard. There are 4 Johns. Bye. Oh, John. What happened here today? You got to hang out with me and my caffeines and watch me drink a cup of coffee and run my mouth. The hard part is over. Now that I'm out of coffee, somebody wake up Hicks. See you next time, guys. Have a good night. Feed your inner child. Buy toys.